Hi, my name is Edmund Tom Macheski. I'm running for Berkeley Heights Town Council. I was involved in the League of Women Voters debate last week on Thursday. Um, and one of my opponents, Peter Bavoso, made some comments that I feel are fairly inaccurate, and I absolutely need to clear it up because the people need to understand what is going on with the swap, which is, in my opinion, the largest single issue that's going on with our town right now. There's other issues and other deeper issues, but as far as an issue goes, like a traditional issue, the swap is a huge problem. It's a $27 million municipal building. And a complex land transaction built into it, and there's some conflict of interest along with it, et cetera, et cetera. So it came up in the debate. It's actually one of the main points of my talking points in the debate. And Peter Bavoso started making a bunch of get false claims, but I'm not sure if he was misinformed or why he made these claims, but they're certainly false. So I'm going to take a little bit of time and go through each one of the parts of the comment. It's only about a 30-second clip. I'll play you the entire clip to start out with, and then what I will do is take section by section and dissect it a little bit, because he made a lot of comments, quick comments, and I need to address them all. So first, let me play you his clip. So I'll play the clip in the entirety. This was at the end of a question, so he had a chance to rebut something I said prior. You can see the whole tape. I'll post that in the comments where you can see the entire thing. But this is just the rebuttal. So I'll play the entire rebuttal, Peter's rebuttal, and then I will go through and I will start dissecting.
Yes.
Okay.
Just to mention, since Tom gets very excited about this, yelling a lot. First of all, the municipal redevelopment falls under the redevelopment law of the state. This is one of those issues that is not a council issue. If Tom would like to go to the state and change the legislator, that's a different conversation. It's redevelopment law. There's no loophole. There's no back office dealings. This was actually heard by the public for years. They changed the location at one point. There's no conflict of interest. All of those court cases have been settled. There's currently a contract going on with Little Flower. It will proceed. You cannot stop whatever it is he's talking about.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's what Peter said in its entirety. So I disagree with 90% of that. The only thing I believe that was true in that statement was, that the location of the municipal building changed. That's, that did happen. So, but everything else I believe is false and a distraction, and I'm really perplexed as to why he took those strong stands when he has really nothing to back it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it piece by piece, and I will discuss why each piece is false or partially true or deflective or whatever. So here goes his first statement.
First of all, the municipal redevelopment falls under the redevelopment law of the state.
The township had a choice on how to proceed with this. They could have went down the normal procedure, which is basically buying the property from the church and then selling them the library. But instead they chose to go down the redevelopment path. So it was a choice by the town, and they invoked the redevelopment plan. So it's not something that had to be done, as Peter seems to state. It was definitely a choice that the town made, and it has its reasons, which was all done behind closed doors. So we don't know exactly the reasons that were chosen, but the effects of it leaves us out in the cold.
This is one of those issues that is not a council issue.
Again, this is a council choice. It wasn't something that had to be done. So it's a misleading statement here. It's a council choice. The council surely was involved.
If Tom would like to go to the state and change the legislator, that's a different conversation.
This is yet another deflective statement from Mr. Bavoso. you know, while I think that there's problems with the law, I'm not going to go down to the state and make a change. But my problem with it, in this case, is that the town chose to use it. They didn't have to use it. They chose to use it. It is a council issue. So this statement is just deflection to deflect blame away from the council.
It's redevelopment law. There's no loophole.
Look, this law is all about loopholes. There's a serious loophole in the local redevelopment and housing law. The loophole just gives the town, so if the town uses it on its own property, it basically removes all the rights away from the taxpayer. This is my major problem that I have with how the town went about the municipal building. They invoked this loophole, and it's just in the worst interest of it's not in the interest of the taxpayers, not in the interest of the residents, and they've taken away a lot of rights that we should have when deciding capital expenditures, especially one as large as this one, where you have, we'll double our town's debt.
There's no back office dealings.
Actually, this whole deal is about back office dealings. The entire dealing of this whole situation was done in what's called executive session. In executive session, we don't see what's going on, so we don't have all the details, which creates some distrust here. The entire negotiation was done prior to us getting any information. It was all done in the back office. We once in a while will get a report only of what they want us to hear and what they would like to report, always positive, that they're doing the right thing, but we have no idea what happened in the back office. He's trying to say that there's no back office dealings. I mean, it's absurd, because this entire deal is a back office deal. It's absurd that that he's claiming this here, and if he could show that this was decided in the public somehow, I would really like to see it. I don't know if he's privy to information that we don't have, but this was all done in the back office.
This was actually heard by the public for years.
Well, the people sort of had heard about this. I mean, there's been a couple meetings about it, but really the details have all been done behind executive session, and still to this day has not been made public what was discussed or the reasons behind any of these things. We get a story that they want us to hear. We only get the information that they want to release to us, but we don't get the entire story. So this is partially true. Yes, the people have heard rumblings about this, but the actual details have not been made public, and the decisions certainly haven't been done in a public forum of any sort. We're only hearing about some things. We're not going to get a vote on it. We have no meaningful say about whether we want to spend our tax money like this. I think a lot of people are concerned about the $27 million price tag. They're concerned about doubling the debt. I don't think any of this stuff has been, the people have had their chance to have a meaningful say. And I think a meaningful say would mean to have a vote on it, a referendum.
They changed the location at one point.
Yes, this is true. They changed the location, but that's neither here nor there. I guess at one point the buildings were supposed to be built at the library, and that's how it was originally sold. Now they're just west of where the current municipal building is. But this is sort of irrelevant to this conversation.
There's no conflict of interest.
There is no conflict of interest. I totally disagree with this. There's a lot of conflict of interest. There's active members of the church that are deciding on a lot of these things, which, a lot of us are active members. I'm an active member, but to say that there's no conflict of interest is just not true. There's people that were, involved in some extent. That could be debated how much they were involved, but there was a trustee of the church, as well as finance board members of the church. Everybody at one time was a member of the church. I believe only one person right now is not a member of the church. So there is a clear conflict of interest, and I think this what makes it much more important to have a vote to make sure that this conflict of interest isn't acting against the will of the voters. I think at the end the town has to make a decision, and if the town's able to vote, then there's it's clear that there's not a conflict of interest. But currently, I disagree with Peter that there's no conflict of interest in this. I think it's clear that there in fact is a conflict of interest.
All of those court cases have been settled.
This one's just not true, and it just shows that that Peter is misinformed. There's currently pending litigation still, which is Matula versus Berkeley Heights, and this is pending. That's why they're not moving forward. So this just shows that he's very misinformed, or else he's trying to deceive. I'm not sure which one is. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he's just misinformed, that there's no pending litigation, but there certainly is pending litigation.
There's currently a contract going on with Little Flower.
Yes, there is a contract with Little Flower. So this is partially correct, but it's all contingent on the litigation being resolved. The fact that that we have a contract, if the litigation is not resolved, the contract it can't go forward. It's going to expire coming up. There is a contract in place, and they are moving down the path, but we still also have one more vote coming up.
You cannot stop whatever it is he's talking about.
Thank you.
Here he's false again. Two members have recused themselves from the vote, so you need 4 votes to pass. If elected, I will not give them my vote, which would be the 4th one. So if I'm elected, I will stop the swap in its tracks. So he's making statements that are, again, just not true. Shows that he's misinformed about this topic, and I can stop it. We can stop it. I'm asking you to help me stop it. If you vote for me, I will do whatever I can to stop the swap, and I will make sure that if people want to continue down and people want a municipal building or want even the swap to go through, that we can do it. But let's go through the normal procedure where we continue to have a say about this, that we continue to have our rights, our right to bring this to a referendum. The biggest part here is that they have denied us the right to a referendum. This is just not fair for the taxpayer of the Berkeley Heights. We need to have a say. And I'd like to ask for your vote on November 8th. My name is Edmund Tom Macheski. I'm in 7F, column F. And you can remember this by F for fiscally responsible. All right, 7F, F for fiscally responsible, Edmund Tom Macheski, under the Libertarian column. Please vote for me, and I will do whatever I can to stop the swap and keep you informed about this and other interesting things going on in the town. I think we need more transparency, and I'm trying to do my best to bring it to you. Thank you very much.